JBN, we keep you informed. 2 shot dead during confrontation with police in Portmore. 2 unidentified men were fatally shot Friday morning during a reported confrontation with the police in Portmore, St. Catherine. About 5 o'clock, the police was patrolling Port Henderson Road when they spotted a vehicle with 2 men aboard just as it exited the toll road. The vehicle pulled into an open lot. When the police went to investigate, 2 men alighted the vehicle and a shootout reportedly ensued. The men were killed and a 9mm pistol reportedly taken from one of them. 2 dead following crash on Highway 2000. 2 men were killed in a motor vehicle crash on the P.J. Patterson Highway, the Kingston to Mapen leg of Highway 2000 on Friday. The deceased have been identified as 61-year-old Fitzroy Henry and Marlon Henry, both residents of Rock River, Clarendon. Reports are that the 2 men were passengers in a Toyota Tacoma pickup, which was traveling along the busy thoroughfare when they collided with a Mazda motor car. The Toyota vehicle overturned, it's understood. The pickup's occupants were rushed to the hospital, where Fitzroy and Marlon were both pronounced dead. Cop dies after motor vehicle crash. The police high command is extending condolences to the family, colleagues, and friends of Constable Patroy Richards of the Specialized Operations Branch, who succumbed to injuries sustained in a service vehicle crash in Clarendon on Friday, December 20. Richards was admitted in critical condition at the University Hospital of the West Indies, where he was being treated for injuries he sustained. He subsequently succumbed to injuries on January 9. New process for learner's license. As of January 25, 2020, the process to obtain a provisional driver's license will change. Persons wishing to obtain a learner's license will now first have to visit any of the Island Traffic Authority (ITA) examination depot to do the multiple choice road code test as part of the application process. The new process will apply to all applicants for a learner's license to drive and/or operate a motor vehicle, including a motorcycle. Application forms will be available at all examination depots, tax offices, or from the website of the Ministry of Transport and Mining at www.mtm.gov.jm and the Tax Administration Jamaica TAJ at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm. The completed application form, along with 3 identical certified photographs, should be submitted to the ITA depot of choice, where the applicant will be allowed to take the road code test. The test will be conducted without charge to the applicant. Where the applicant has passed the road code test, a notation will be made on the form, and the information entered into a database shared between the ITA and the TAJ. The application form will be returned to the applicant in a sealed envelope for him or her to submit it to the tax office of his or her choice for the provisional license to be processed. At the tax office, the form will be vetted and validated before the applicant is directed to a cashier to pay the fee of $1,800 and to be issued the provisional driver's license with the payment receipt affixed. Should an applicant fail the road code test, he or she will be advised by the ITA to return on an appointed date to retake the test. Until further notice, receipts will be without charge to the applicant. Provisional driver's license acquired before January 25, 2020 will remain valid until the applicable expiration date. However, anyone renewing a provisional driver's license thereafter will have to first visit an examination depot to sit the road code test. Applicants who have passed the road code test and have been granted a provisional driver's license will not be required to retake the road code test when applying for a renewal date to expiration or replacement due to loss of license, but will therefore proceed to the TAJ with a completed application form and other required documents. An applicant for a provisional driver's license will only have to visit the ITA examination depot if he or she has not passed the road code test. It should be noted that the last day to obtain a provisional driver's license without being required to first pass the road code test is January 24, 2020. Therefore, although the Portmore tax office will be open on Saturday, January 25, 2020, it will not be processing applications for a provisional driver's license. My brother was super secretive. brother of murdered People's National Party PNP activist Kevin Brown, said that while his younger sibling was quite popular in political circles, his super secretive lifestyle may have come back to harm him. I know him as a very kind, quiet individual, too secretive though, and that is probably the reason why he never came and talked to us about things he was undertaking, Mark Brown said on Wednesday. The things he did, whether at work or with the party, were kept to himself. He was always like that, and this is the result, said Mark Brown. The younger Brown, a member of the PNP affiliate The Patriots and the Justice of the Peace, was killed along Chesterfield Drive in St. Andrew on December 11, 2019. He was 44. The St. Andrew South Police believe that Brown, at the time of death, was involved in a passport and visa racket. According to Superintendent Wayne Cameron, head of the St. Andrew South Police, 50 passports were found in Brown's possession. According to Cameron, statements have already been collected from 2 persons whose passports were found among the 50. The divisional police chief, however, said that the circumstances that led to Brown's death remain unclear. Hearing the kind of news that points to some untoward activity that my brother perpetrated is distasteful, and there has to be a sense of deep disappointment. But I am no judge or jury of anybody's misconduct. If it is true, then all I can say is that he did what he thought he should, which was illegal, and therefore, sometimes things catch up on us. I think it was probably one of the reasons that led to his life being taken, said Brown. The elder brother said that he had been unaware of allegations of racketeering by his brother before his death. I will never justify his actions, even though he was killed, nor would I condone it in any way, but people are people, and he was my brother. All the family can do now is to love him and honor his memory, said Brown. An autopsy has revealed that the younger Brown died from a bullet that pierced his chest. The bullet entered from the back and exited through his chest. Based on reports, he was abducted and he ran out of the vehicle and was crying out for help, and then he was shot. I think he tried everything to save his own life, but it just never worked. His son is not even coping well. This is really sad, Mark said. Holness says Port Royal will be safe and hassle-free for tourists. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says anti-harassment initiatives and security measures will be implemented at Port Royal, Kingston, to ensure a safe and hassle-free environment for tourists. We are not going to allow this new tourist destination to descend into chaos. We are not going to tolerate harassment and public disorder in this area, and I am relying on the security forces to put in place the preventative measures so that it doesn't occur, he said. Holness was speaking at a meeting with representatives from the Port Authority of Jamaica, the Urban Development Corporation, the security forces, and other stakeholders regarding the development of Port Royal at Jamaica House in St. Andrew on Wednesday. A cruise port terminal is being developed at the historic town of Port Royal, creating a platform for a thriving cruise tourist destination. The first vessel is slated to dock later this month. Port Royal is one of the most fascinating locations in the entire Caribbean, with well over 500 years of incredible history, full of the most interesting characters to have ever lived. Holness said the preventative measures will allow for the protection of the country while ensuring continued growth and the sustainability of the tourism sector, as well as a safe and comfortable environment for visitors. Port Royal will not be a free-for-all. It is not going to be a place for hustlers and the thugs and people to come to harass. It has to be a place of order. It will also be a place where not just visitors from overseas will have the opportunity to enjoy the experience, but we want Jamaicans to enjoy the experience as well, Holness said. We are not creating an exclusive zone. We are creating an orderly zone, and once there is order, all Jamaicans and non-Jamaicans will be able to enjoy Port Royal, he added. Curfew imposed in sections of Mountain View. A curfew has been imposed in sections of Mountain View in Kingston 3. The curfew began at 6 a.m. on Saturday, January 11, and will remain in effect until 6 a.m. on Monday, January 13. The boundaries of the curfew are as follows: north, along Bonneview Avenue, from Mountain View Primary School to Hampstead Avenue; east, along Hampstead Avenue, from Bonneview Avenue to Longston Road; south, along Longston Road from Amstead Avenue to Deanery Road, west along Deanery Road from Longston Road to Mountain View Primary School at Bonneview Avenue. During the hours of the curfew, all persons within the boundaries are required to remain within their premises unless authorized in writing by the Ground Command. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.